logistics will work.
Last month, just over 150 days since the October 7th Hamas massacre, the National Jewish Advocacy Center, working with attorneys from Finger and Slanina, the Law Office of David I. Schoen, Goldfeder and Terry, the International Legal Forum, and Holtzman Vogel, filed a federal complaint in Delaware against UNRWA USA on behalf of a group of survivors of the terrorist attack, as well as family members of those who unfortunately did not survive, displaced families, and the family members of a current hostage. UNRWA USA is a 501c3 charity that supports the work of the United Nations Relief and Works Agency for Palestine through fundraising, education, and advocacy in the United States. It is the largest private donor to UNRWA, and our lawsuit describes how UNRWA USA materially supported terrorism by knowingly, actively, and systematically using their charity to operate a terrorist financing scheme in violation of federal law. It follows explosive evidence, much of it put forth by the incredible team at UN Watch, of UNRWA staff participating in the murder and abductions of Israelis and Americans, as well as allowing their facilities to be used for Hamas control and command centers. UNRWA has become an inseparable arm of Hamas and a systematic incubator of hate, incitement, and terror. We are not talking about a few rotten apples. The entire organization is rotten to the core and infested with terror. As their primary non-governmental fundraising platform in the U.S., UNRWA USA must be held accountable for helping to underwrite the mass slaughter, rape, and abductions by Hamas on October 7th. Unfortunately, UNRWA has been granted immunity, and so it acts with impunity. This case is vitally important in the effort to bring some measure of justice to these victims by cutting off at least one source of funding. The underwriting of terrorism by NGOs under the guise of philanthropy and altruism is a particularly pernicious form of material support. UNRWA USA and the world at large have long known of the significant intersection between UNRWA and Hamas, and the willful denial of those relationships is not a shield from liability under our anti-terrorism statutes. The simple truth is this: charities generally do good work, which is why they often fly under the radar. But on some very rare occasions, a so-called charity is really a front to help finance an international terrorist plot that kills thousands of innocent people. This case involves one of those rare occasions, and that so-called charity, UNRWA USA, must be held accountable. God willing, they will be.